Hey there, church. Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone is well and finding that life is good. Um, as I am beginning this right now, I hear in the background they are in our area in Terrell. On some Wednesdays they test the tornado sirens, and so I don't know if that's coming through or not. But if I keep looking out the window to see if it's just a test or it's actually a tornado, please forgive me. But it kind of makes sense because of the passage that we're going to look at this evening. Is in Luke chapter 8, beginning in verse 22. It says, "One day he got into a boat with his disciples, and he said to them, 'Let us go across to the other side of the lake.' So they set out. And as they sailed, he fell asleep. And a windstorm came down on the lake, and they were filling with water and were in danger. And they went and woke him, saying, 'Master, Master, we are perishing.' And he awoke and rebuked the wind and the raging waves, and they ceased, and there was calm. He said to them, 'Where is your faith?' And they were afraid, and they marveled, saying to one another, 'Who then is this, that he commands even winds and water, and they obey him?'" You know, there's three aspects of this statement here where Jesus asked, "Where is your faith?" And in the response that the apostles make in the midst of that storm. Folks, all of us have found ourselves in difficult times, and right now we're in the midst of one, and in some ways it feels a little bit like a broken record, but we have to keep coming back to this idea, because the longer the pandemic goes, the longer the isolation goes, the longer the frustration goes, the more deeply we find ourselves ultimately needing to ask the question that Jesus asked, and that is, where is our faith? In that statement that he asked, there's these three ideas. One is this, that when we think faith, oftentimes we think it is just something that happens. There's faith out there, and then all of a sudden it's in here and I have it. But Jesus is asking the apostles, when he says, "Where is your faith?" he's not saying that they don't have faith. He's asking them to take deliberate action. And that deliberate action is to identify where their faith lies. Where is your faith? Not have faith, but put it in the appropriate thing. Or more appropriately said, in the appropriate person, on the appropriate person. Someone once said that we all have faith. The question is, do we have faith in the right place? Is our faith based in the right place? And so Jesus, when he asked them, "Where is your faith?" he is asking them to take the initiative to identify where their faith is. And then the second aspect to that question is this: not only identification, but it is a question of exercising that faith. Actually pull your faith out and use it. there's a number of, I guess you could say, identifiers of faith. Part of that is belief in the Word. And if we believe the Word, then we will read the Word. If we believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, then we will pray to Him. We will talk to Him. We will believe what He has said. We will trust Him. Exercise it. Take deliberate action, so identify where your faith is. Take deliberate action. And then part of this, exercising your faith, is asking the question that the apostles ask at the end here, where it says, the question that they asked, which is a great question they should have been asking all along, and they were afraid and they marveled, saying to one another, "Who then is this that He commands even winds and water, and they obey Him?" That's the right question. Who is this that feeds the 5,000? Who is this that heals the blind, the sick, the lame? Who is this ultimately that raises the dead? Who is this? If He does all of these things, who is this? And the answer is clear from the Gospels. He is Jesus Christ, the very Son of God. Fully God, fully man, born of a virgin, and ultimately has been sent to live a perfect life and die for you and me. There's another statement here that the apostles make that begs a question. While Jesus is napping in the boat, and the windstorm comes up, and they go and they find Jesus, and they make the statement in Luke, other places it's a question, "Master, Master, we are perishing." And there's two things that I believe the apostles here are pointing to. One, it is, are you going to do anything? And the second aspect is, do you even care? For those of us who have put our faith in Jesus Christ, we know the whole story. We know that Jesus not only lived a life, but He died a death that was ultimately not His to die. You see, Jesus walked into the worst storm ever. Which is being hung on a cross for you and I. Becoming sin, taking on sin that was not His, but was mine. And because He did that, He faced separation from the Father, from God Himself. He died a death that He did not deserve to die, so that we could have a life that we do not deserve to live. So the question, does God care? If He cares enough to walk into the biggest storm ever for you and I, then He certainly cares enough about whatever you're going through right now. So how do we grow in our faith? Read the Word. Pray that God would give you the answers that you need. Pray that you would grow in your trust of Him. And then exercise. Work it out. Step out in faith. And see what God does. And all along remembering how much God loves you. God bless you. See you soon. Bye-bye.